Learn how to draw a pop art inspired donut. The materials you'll need are a pencil and eraser, a white piece of paper cut into a square, Sharpie, whatever you want to color with. I'm going to use a combination of Mr. Sketch markers and colored pencils, and if you've got a ruler available, that's great too. The elements of art that we will focus on in this video are line, color, and form. In particular, how do we make our donut look more three-dimensional? Well, we do that by giving it height, width, and depth, as well as value. Value is the lightness or darkness of a color and can be used to create the illusion of form by making an object look more realistic or three-dimensional. Let's learn a little bit about the artist who inspired this, Mr. Wayne Thiebaud. He was born in Mesa, Arizona in 1920 and was an American painter best known for his thickly painted still lifes of food, including his delectable desserts including cakes, pies, pastries, and candy. His artwork looks good enough to eat. Thiebaud is most often grouped with the pop art movement because of his subject matter, but unlike most pop artists, he worked from life and not media images. A fun fact is, as a young man, he had an internship with Walt Disney Studios as a cartoonist. Wayne Thiebaud rendered his objects with beautiful, bright colors and also used a strong sense of light to cast these unique, beautiful blue shadows, which he became recognized for. He also used really thick paint as if it was to look like a real frosting. When he was asked, "What do you want people to see when they see your art?" his response, "Laugh a little." If we lack a sense of humor, we lack a sense of perspective. He wanted his art to be joyful and to celebrate life. Our very first step in drawing our pop art inspired donut is creating a large oval in the center of our paper. Now draw a smaller oval in the center of the large oval you just drew. Inside that smaller oval we just drew, we're going to draw another little curved line. Once we finish that, we need to continue to give our donut form. Make it look 3D. So we're going to essentially make a very squished cylinder. We need two essentially parallel lines coming down from the side of that donut. So go ahead and draw those lines now. Next, we need to connect those two parallel lines that we just drew with a curved line that's parallel to the curved line above it. Once you do that, then go ahead and just sort of round the edges, creating our three-dimensional donut. Once we have the basic shape of our 3D donut, we need to create the frosting. So we are going to draw a series of wavy, curvy lines all around the bottom of that top donut line. Then we are going to go ahead and erase that original oval so that it really looks like that frosting is just coming off of the top of that donut. So take your time again and go in and erase that line. Go ahead and now draw the frosting wavy lines from the smaller oval on the inside. Once you've finished drawing your frosting, Now is your opportunity to add some visual interest by decorating the top of your donut. So add sprinkles or whatever other elements you would like to make your donut unique. Once you have finished your sprinkles and designs, we need to give our donut a horizon line. That's going to separate it from the background and the foreground and make it so our donut isn't just floating in space. We want to ground it. And then we have to create our shadow. Because don't forget, Wayne Thiebaud was famous for his blue shadow. Once we have finished that, you can create some kind of pattern or design in your background. I'm just going to make some simple circles for my pop art background. Once we have finished our background design and our donut, we are going to go back in with our black Sharpie and trace all of our lines. Next, I'm going to outline my donut with my Mr. Sketch markers. You can feel free to use your colored pencils or whatever materials you have. Just keep in mind we want to incorporate the element of art value by making one side of our donut darker and one side lighter, which helps give the illusion of form and making our donut more 3D. Now you can begin your blue shadow inspired by Wayne Thiebaud's famous blue shadows, as well as creating and coloring in your vibrant, bold, pop art inspired background. Once your shadow and background are finished, go ahead and begin coloring in your foreground with whatever color you want. And finally, to give our donut a more realistic three-dimensional look, we are going to add a value. You can do this with a couple techniques using a couple colors of colored pencils or crayons, also the amount of pressure that you apply while coloring. Remember, our left side will be darker than our right side, giving the illusion that our light source is coming from the right. Fantastic job making your pop art inspired donut. If you liked this video, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much.